Good morning. Welcome back to another edition of NFT Game Day. With Jimmy D and Corey Cottrell, and we're joined by Ordonez of Galeria NFT to talk about his new kind of collection, TEXWAX HODL EM, which is
HODL EM makes so much sense,
right? It's really good. So yeah, it's been a while since you've been on the show. I think the last time we had you on the show was for your Ravers release, and you were actually it was like 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning, and you were like at the venue setting up or something, I think.
Yeah.
How's it going? How are things? And welcome back.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me here, guys, again. Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been like trying to work some new collections, and yeah, we're really happy to have that this guy is a friend from Ecuador. He's actually from my city, and he's called Esepanncho, and he's the creator of TEXWAX HODL EM. And yeah, we're really excited.
This is an NFT like playing card pack, and if that doesn't say this to you, then I don't know what will.
I'm not the bubble. 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 I'm not the bubble.
Like, honestly, when you contacted me and then I checked out the series, and I just thought, wow, this is like so cool. It's an actual deck of playing cards, right? Which is pretty, like, I've never seen that done before as an NFT. I could be wrong, but like I just thought that was a really interesting idea. So like, I'm kind of curious, like, how did that concept come about? How would you get that idea of actually putting a deck of playing cards on the blockchain as NFTs, really?
Yeah, well, the idea in the beginning was to create a game, so we decided to make this card deck, and we were working on it, and I was like starting to like find the ways to promote it. And then I realized, like, I was just like asking on chats, on communities, what do you think about the concept and everything. And when I was getting ready to like release it as a game, then I kind of stumbled into the fact that it's illegal in some places to gamble and stuff. So we decided, like, since the artwork is really, really great, it's amazing, and so we decided to drop it as just like as an art collection, So that's the way. Actually, the main idea came from Esepanncho, because he had I don't know if you have it somewhere, but he had that Queen of Hearts. That was one of the original designs. So we decided to make the rest of the artwork as cards as well.
Yeah, so we can have a look at some of this here. So it's a full deck of cards, with original characters, and it's got rarity blends and rewards that will be a part of it. And so you've got like a bunch of these, different characters. I guess we can pop over to the main site and probably see it here.
That has a little bit more info.
Right. And like you've got different deck sizes, and let's just go and have a look at NFT blocks. And maybe we'll look at the market so we can see some of the individual cards, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the packs here, you've got individual cards. Like, so the characters, like, how were these developed? Was there any impetus behind them, or the artist just something that he came up with?
No, the artist usually does this kind of colorful, like funky kind of artwork, you know. So he picked some of his like his favorite characters, and he made the cards for them. So as you can see, those are the stickers, and there's like these different ones. I don't know if he has like a something in mind to create them. I know that, for instance, the AMIGOS sticker with the hat, that's that looks like an indigenous people from Ecuador. You know, that's what you dress with the poncho and the hat and stuff. But some other things, I don't know. I don't really know where he gets the inspiration for.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah, the fishy dude is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Yeah, it's really interesting. There's some really the wax douche sticker. That's pretty good too. Yeah, it's really cool. And so there's like some Chinese characters I noticed on some of these as well, or Japanese.
Yeah, there's like that cat has like a Chinese letter behind it. I don't know what it means actually, but I guess it's something like zen or chill or whatever, something like that.
Right. And yeah, so you've got like the normal cards. You know, the 8 of diamonds is the PE Island, I think. The you know, King of Hearts is the what did we say? The fish guy. The 7 is one of the amigos, right? Like, I think it's pretty interesting. The Queen of Hearts, you said, was one of the famous.
Yeah, that's like the original one that was like in a card, you know. From that idea, we decided to add the other characters to the card as well. But in this collection, we made like a huge amount of blends, and people is loving that. If you go to the blend,
is that? I'll go in a minute, but is that a microphone? Is he standing?
Yeah,
is she standing there in front of a microphone?
That's Freddie Mercury for sure.
That's great.
That's one of the only ones that I know where he took his inspiration from.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, we'll check out the blends too. We've got them here.
So the idea was that when you get that one that's black and white, and you blend it with the sticker, you get the original one, and the original one has all the colors and stuff. So people are really excited. Like most people in my community are trying to blend all of this. There's like 52 cards, you know, but the color ones are like amazing. So there's the original Queen of Hearts, like
here.
That's with the original colors and stuff.
OGJ of Spades. That's pretty cool. These are pretty cool, man. I like the art. This is really pretty interesting artwork. If anyone in the world knows this, it might be Corey. But like, I don't even know if Corey would know this. Like, we used to play this game called Lost Air. Did you ever play Lost Air? It's like a special deck of cards. It was 4 Canadian cities where the suits: Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, and Halifax.
I've never seen this.
And there's like a good boy that's like worth 7 points, and there's like a bad boy that's like -3. It's kind of like euchre where you play in teams, but like it was kind of just a couple of those characters remind me of the good boy and bad boy. It's pretty fun. It's like it's basically a letter kind of game. It's small town, Canada, where I'm from, game, but it's pretty interesting. So, but yeah, nobody knows it.
It's just a Canadian thing, or what?
Yeah, well, I just like a small town. I don't know where they came up with it. Like it might have come over from the old world. I'm not sure. But like, yeah, it's just nobody. Most people in Canada don't even know it, which is pretty funny. But yeah, like some of the bad boy artwork is similar to this. Like it's just very simple, plain, but like has that kind of cool detail to the character. So quite like it. Yeah, it's really cool. So like you said, like a lot of people are over there, they're blending things up, they're doing things. So that's like there's I think that I read 5 levels of rarities. Is that true?
It's like you have the black and white, the original, the gold one, and the fire one, and you get to blend you get to blend the ink one. And when you get the sets complete, you get some rewards. Actually, the reward I did for the sticker pack was really it's something like one of the coolest things that I've done in Galeria. Actually, I don't know if I can share. I think I can share it here, but
oh yeah, you can totally share your screen.
Let me download it because I don't have it on my computer. Only on my cell phone.
That wax dude's pretty funny though. I like I don't know, man. He reminds me of somebody. It's almost like it's a weird fat, like it's almost like a fat Beavis and Butthead character.
Yeah, yeah, has that so like that sort of, I don't know how to say it in English, but like when you're like a bad boy.
Right? Yeah, he looks like he's about ready to eat you, just on your little green screen behind you there. It's pretty good.
Where is the thing?
So yeah, and thanks to everyone for joining us. Roger, always great to see you. Fleensy, thanks for coming out. If you guys have some gratitudes, we'll probably put those up very momentarily. So feel free to drop them in. Judo Vision. Okay.
Yeah, I found it.
All right, let's check that out.
So that's the Joker. You can see it on augmented reality.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So when you can even print it, and when you print it, you put it where you film it with your phone, and it pops out of the NFT. That's really great.
That's awesome.
So I'm preparing some other. I almost stopped the. How do I want?
I can do that.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'm preparing other one of those for the completed set of the other rarities, the OG rarities and the ink rarities.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, like artwork. I'm excited to see, how and the augmented reality thing too. Is that just the one character, or were there a bunch of them?
What?
So the Joker, was that a one of one, or did all of the cards have
that? There's I think 4 of them or 5 of them, because it was only for the people that completed the sticker set. And the sticker set was like really rare in the beginning, because I only released the 150 sticker packs, and they got sold out. And then it was really hard to complete the set. So
yeah.
that one's super limited, because I think there's only 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Only 5 people completed the whole set.
I'm a big fan of street art, and I just realized how cool the world would be if all of street art was augmented reality.
Yeah. But it will be even more amazing if you can like just do it with your eyes. Like you don't need the phone to be pointing the phone to like some wall or something, but you can see it with your own eyes. That will be amazing.
This is one of those moments where Jimmy comes back like in a week, and he's all cross-eyed because he's been trying to like see augmented reality weird shit with his Well, like totally, like maybe you could make contact lenses or something. Like, it'd be pretty cool. But like, I think there's probably a case to be made at some point in time that you will be able to see it in the metaverse, right? You turn around the corner and you'll see like a 3D version pop out or something like that.
Yeah, remember these glasses that came out with the Snapchat for the Snapchat guys? I think they weren't a success, but maybe something like that. You know, you just wearing your glasses and you can see like kind of what you see on the phone.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know those ones particularly. But I know like the Google glasses came out. Those were kind of a flop. I don't know. Maybe they were ahead of their time, or maybe it just was a horrible idea. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but I think in the like they actually just thought about it like just to be able to take pictures with the glasses, you know. So it doesn't make that much sense. But when you start adding augmented reality and stuff, it becomes more interesting.
Right.
or even for games, for the metaverse, it's going to be like really great. You know, if you don't have to wear like a big helmet or something, and instead of that you have only the glasses, that will be really cool.
When I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, like it's one of the dreams I remember the most. Like I had this really weird dream where like I was in my high school gymnasium and like I was swinging across ropes and jumping over crocodiles, and like there was this massive like kind of, you know, thing that happened there. And I remember like going outside and trying to recreate it with my brothers and like playing, you know, like little, you know, toy crocodiles and being like, oh yeah, let's do this. And I mean, it was pretty lame, but like if you could do that in an augmented reality, right? Like if you could do that with some sort of like glasses where that toy actually did jump out at you as you swung, you know, over it and rope, that would be really cool. But yeah, Corey, do you want to do some? Do you want to go in and do some gratitudes? Let's do that.
I'll pull it up here in a second.
I want to, while you do that, I want to showcase this too, because this one just dropped today, and yeah, I mean, speaking of weird pop out spaces, let's go with this. So Corey's been like, you know, raving about this for, I don't know, a week or two now. And, you know, he's not wrong, talking about the really interesting things that people are doing with cubes in the uplift world. And I really get annoyed with, you know, when Lambo, when Moon, all of these when questions, because none of them are relevant and they're just
any when question at all.
But seriously, when Galeria NFT Cube in the uplift world, because you guys have got some really cool stuff, and I think like putting something like that in a cube would be really awesome. Like,
well, to be honest, we have the building with the actually TC helped us build it, because To be honest, I cannot play that much Uplift. I get dizzy with first person games,
Yeah,
and
you
then
said that.
in like 10 minutes I feel like throwing up. But he
Yeah.
helped me building, but I don't know how to like to make the rest of it, to add the pictures and stuff. I have no idea. But we do have the like a gallery already, like the building of the gallery, it's already done, and it has like a dance floor with the DJ booth and stuff for like live performances. But I still don't know how to do it.
Well, we'll have to hit TC up about that. I'll have to find out where it is and go and check it out.
That's Smurfly.
I think I have the
Oh, maybe we can go today. That'd be cool.
Let me just go into my wallet. I have it here.
Yeah, I spent the day getting overwhelmed actually because I decided to go in search of some cool builds, and I found a bunch of them. But then I kind of bit off more than I could chew because I decided that I would do the next feature on the grow your base build in Chicken Kong. But it's like, dude, it's like 4 or 5 like massive plots. It's huge. Like,
yeah, it's like, really big. We should probably have them on the show. We need an update from those guys.
Yeah. We definitely do. So like I was like, oh, I guess that's not gonna get done today. Right. But yeah.
I sent you the coordinates to the private chat.
Okay, great. Maybe, yeah, that's probably in Genesis if it's TC. So maybe we can check that out after. I guess, what are you grateful for there, Ordonez, so where I can put it up on the wall?
I think I'm grateful for people that still appreciate art and they still getting and supporting artists on the wax space because, lately it's all about games. And like you said, when Lambo, when you stake NFTs, when you pay them in some way, when you make a game that pays people, and it's getting kind of hard to promote just art, great art, and support the artists.
All right, I'm just getting Rogers here.
That's one of my tracks.
It's time to party, right? Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. Jimmy.
Yeah, it's tough for me, but I'm actually I got to go outside today and hang out, in some sun, and it wasn't that cold. So yeah, I'm grateful for green spaces in the city. I think, yeah, we've had this conversation before on the show a little bit, about certain places in Miami, Wynwood, and, it's South America too. I think Central America, for anyone who's been there, kind of Latino culture has a lot of kind of street art. It's not a place where you're walking around and all the walls are white, right? Like there's art everywhere, right? And so I think it's interesting to me to see the transition of how art is making its way into the metaverse. And I'm not sure if you happen to catch it, but there's been a few great videos. Gary Vee was actually on mainstream news talking about it, and they were trying to basically throw NFTs under the bus. But he had some really good comments to be able to talk about why they're important and why they're valuable. It's just like they were basically saying like, oh, like all this art, like it's just overpriced, like what's the point? And I mean his rebuttal to that was like, well, like everything, I mean, like everyone who walks around with Gucci bags and drives like a Mercedes Benz, right? It's just the value that people put on it.
Yeah.
And so like I think for me, there's a lot of great artists out there that are doing amazing things, and I like the fact that we can put a value on that. More so than a JPEG or just a picture from like a speculator point of view. But it seems like we're getting to that point where galleries are starting to kind of exist in the metaverse. And like even what you guys are doing over there with Galeria NFT, you've got all of these artists that are being incorporated, right? The Rocket Gallery, they've got all of these artists that are being incorporated. Like there's over I think it's the EOS Nation guys are doing, you know, their NFT gallery and incorporating a bunch of different, you know, 3D and 2D artists. There's tons of projects over on, you know, Ethereum, art by artists, really. A lot of it that's showcased in our world too. So I'm kind of excited to see how that changes things, because like I like the fact that, I mean, I can come over and check out your Nifty Box page and get a taste of, you know, art that I might never be able to see in the world if I don't make it to, you know, Brazil, for example. You know, cute as fuck. I would have never known about that if it wasn't for you, right?
Yeah, and that guy actually did really great, man. Like this guy, I don't know if I told you about it, but the guy that I contacted for Cute as Fuck is some guy from Peru. And after he did the collection with me, he got into NFTs, and I don't know if it was because of my collection, but somebody from Solana contacted him, and he did actually a collection that's called Catalina Whales, and it got sold out. Like they made millions of dollars with that collection, and he's actually working for them now, and he's getting like really well paid. I mean, they're not gonna give them the millions of dollars, but at least he now has like a really like a big income for South America doing art, you know.
Right.
And that's something that's what I'm trying to do with the Galeria, because in the end these guys make these amazing characters and these amazing works, and in the end they are working for like something like Walmart, you know. That's how they live here. They don't live of art. They live making flyers for like regular business, for retail business. And
well, I mean,
it's really cool. Like that's one of the biggest thing about NFT, that you can dream of like actually make a living of selling your stuff, like your art, what you like to do, not just like a 30% of TVs, you know, like TV, or 30% of like a bed or whatever.
Well, and it's like art in the real world too, right? Like, I mean, there's not very many people that are lucky enough to be real world artists that can make a living out of it, right? I mean, most of them who became famous, you know, they had to die first, right? I mean, so like,
it's
awkward,
like right?
Yeah, you want to be famous, check die first.
I mean, but there's some great artists out there. So, and the thing I like about like online is we can incorporate them in so many different ways. Like, I mean, you guys have done that. Just, I mean, the art's cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, but just putting them on playing cards, that just makes it, you know, all the better, right? Like it's that like general idea to be able to do that. And I mean, I'm sure people could figure out a way to play a game with them at some point. You know, like the crypto writer guys, like they have this, you know, really cool concept for their finis, but they also, you know, do things with the comic books, right? Like you've got Nifty BC as well. You know, he's doing a lot of really cool things with like artwork and different display models and things like that, you know, in the metaverse. Like just so many possibilities, I think, that exist for artists beyond just creating your own artwork and putting it out there, but just how we can interact and engage. So I guess this is Corey zoomed over to
it's up by
Gallery
10.
NFT headquarters, I guess. That's pretty cool.
And of course, Sebastian is freaking everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, he was just. Yeah, actually, there's a door for you can go from his.
Oh, cool.
There, you can go to mine from his gallery. I guess
that's cool. Nope. Oh, duh. Wow.
man, this TC and his friends, like, I don't know how they do this thing.
Yeah.
When I just got my land, I was trying to build some stuff, and it was like impossible for me to do, man. I'm not used to like I'm not used to this. I have troubles imagining how things are gonna look after I
Yeah.
build them. So it's
Even
hard
this
to
room is
start
like-
doing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool lantern work there, actually. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm not. I don't do much Minecraft building, but I build like I cook, and if you put a recipe book in front of me, it's gonna be horrible. So,
And that's
cool.
like the club, you know. That's
Yeah.
the DJ booth and everything.
Nice.
that's really cool, actually.
Cool.
It's really weird, but I can kind of play these games when you have the third person guy. Like in the same world, when you have the third person guy, I can play him. But if I play him like in first person, I don't know what happens, but it really
Yeah.
gets me, like it makes me feel sick.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this building is really cool.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for, if TC is around, or he sees the show after, thanks guys for the amazing building.
They're maze balls for sure. Wow.
Yeah, I think Mello's working on another gallery somewhere, doing something. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it, man. It's good. Oh, there's a few things, huh?
No, that's Sebastian one.
Ah, this is next door. I see. That's so good. Oh, nice.
That QR code work being that small?
I don't know.
Find out.
I think it
Yep.
But you know what I think is really cool, like to see these galleries in real life, when you have the printed object and you can like check it with your cell phone and it just pops out, you know.
Yeah, right.
Some of them are animated. I saw this. There's this app that's called Art Vibe, something like that, and they have like this spot, like an advertising showing that. It looks really great.
Cool.
Some like real gallery when you can like just see augmented reality.
It's freaking amazing at night too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right? That's awesome.
Right. It's like a futuristic city. It's really good. Things you can do with sea.
Right?
It's crazy, man.
That's awesome.
Like I didn't even thought about building like something like a building, you know. I was like, just, it was on the water, so I was just making something like a hole on the water before DC showed up.
Yeah, I was building underwater when I first got my plot, so that nobody could see the massacre that was my build.
Your build is fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
Everybody starts somewhere,
right? Yeah, I mean it's weird to I don't know, man. It's just weird to be in this crypto space. It's like there's just so much going on, and like heavy stuff all over the place, good stuff all over the place, bad stuff all over the place. Like, amazing stuff all over the place. It's like it's just so weird to be like plugged in to art and NFTs and gaming and not even things that most people are thinking about, like things that like 1% of the population is thinking about, right? Like,
yeah,
it's pretty
but
amazing.
it's crazy to see how big NFTs are getting right now, because like when I started Galeria like 1 year ago or a little bit less maybe, and nobody knew in Ecuador about NFTs, and now it's really funny because I see people that are my friends that I have no idea, that I haven't talked to them before or whatever, and they're like buying NFTs and most people are trying to make money, right? It's not like they're supporting art or whatever, but at least I see them now like buying NFTs and getting exposure to cryptocurrency, and that's really great, because in the end, like especially if you make some money, then you can like start supporting artists as well. When you get some income, and then you have the chance to help people as well, and yeah, that's part of maybe what was going wrong this last month, because the space was like in a big dip and a big crash, and when people don't get that extra income, I guess the natural response is to like buy less art. At least that's how I perceive it. Like I felt it like this last couple of months, that the sales of the NFTs weren't that great.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's always hard for me because I think, like, in general, before NFTs, a lot of people probably weren't investing in art or music or any of these things, right? We a lot of people just download stuff for free or take a picture of a JPEG and hang it on their wall, right? And so, like, I think one of the nice things about this kind of NFT gaming, revolution type of push was that for the first time, like you said, artists were putting their art out there and people were buying it. And so I think we kind of maybe went overkill, where a lot of people were just buying everything and speculating on it. I mean, you could see this kind of over on Terra, like the Finny guys had the interesting scenario where like everyone was dumping their NFTs for like, half to a third of the price they bought them, because they didn't get something that was like ultra rare, right? And then they were all pissed off because it's like, oh, the supply is too big, which is funny because like the whole thing sold out, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we're getting to that point now where I'm hoping that a lot of artists will be supported as opposed to people just speculating, right? It might mean less sales, but I think that's, if you...
I'm just starting to get really excited with the long game.
Right.
Like you can make a little bit of money in some speculative, pump and dump right now. But what does all this stuff look like in 4 or 5 years? Like I'm not in a hurry, and that's sort of, I think, the people that I get the impression or that I believe will be around working on stuff in 3, 4, 5 years. Like that's what I'm looking out for personally.
Yeah, and I think this this kind of profile picture projects are the ones that like people is expecting quick money out of it, but if you buy like real art, you have better chances to at some point it becomes valuable. Like I don't know if you guys see what happened with that NFT from Ken Bosak this week.
What's that?
He bought one NFT from some guy, I don't remember the name, but a really cool like artist, and he bought it like, I don't know, some years ago.
2017. Yep.
Yeah, and
I think
now
he bought it for like $100 or something like that.
Sold it for
$100,000.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. Something that maybe you buy like a Galeria NFT right now, and maybe down the road it worth a lot of money, you know. So that's really cool, but that's not going to happen, in my opinion. That it's something that it's not going to happen with 10,000 profile pictures, you know. It's just that's more for like one unique piece of art that's not gonna have like 10,000 similar ones, you know.
Could be.
Well, and I think the artist too, right? Like it just really depends on what the artist does. You know, like if the artist gets commissioned to, you know, paint some mural on the side of, you know, some famous building in New York City, of course, if you have those early NFTs, right, they're going to be valuable, right? Like if you, it's like it was interesting to hear like a lot of the Bored Apes people, because like even they're like, wow, we're kind of surprised that like, you know, the valuation of this went this high. And it's like we don't expect to see that again. Like we know that we were like a special case. Like we know that we had a really small, strong community, but like, you know, it's possible that other things could do this, but like, this is almost a one-off. Like and they're even admitting that, right? Like
it comes down to the network, right? And like how many, and we'll see what happens. Cause it's not like every celebrity, et cetera, has managed to get into that yet, right? So you could have different networks that end up, you know, getting attached to different projects, but like that network effect and exclusivity of it or whatever, like that's all the marbles, right? So it's not. I don't think that's going to shift overnight. And then you know, we'll see where that stuff goes. But yeah, it's if you're not thinking in terms of network of humans, then you know your PFP project's going to be garbage.
Yeah, but it's really cool because as you said before, like for instance with my music, what happened before, it was just like I released some tracks, and when it got to YouTube, somebody came and passed like download the MP3 of the track, you know. So now NFTs, you maybe are going to a smaller crowd, but these guys appreciate what you're doing, and they're willing to like support your work and your craft, you know. So as I said, like I released this track that's called Secrets with Yoshi Drops, and it got sold for 5,000 wax, you know. Like the mint number one got sold for 5,000 wax. That's kind of like $2,000. It's more than I made in a Spotify since the beginning of time of my music in the Spotify, you know. It's 2015. That was the first track that I got into a Spotify. Since then, I had hundreds of thousands of plays, millions of plays, and I got like $1,000. And then I sell one NFT for 2,000. You know, so that's
the way.
That's the dream, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and I think like, you know, artists are still waking up to the fact that, you know, they can launch their own NFTs and get their own royalties off of it. Like that's like, this is going to be the story of the next half a decade as people figure this out and get into the industry.
Especially because it's really hard to sell the NFT, because if you don't have the following, and if you don't have the community, and right now as an artist that it's not involved in cryptocurrency, you don't really have like your followers are not into NFTs, so they're not gonna buy it, you know. At this point, like I have 10,000 followers on Instagram or whatever, but these guys don't know shit about cryptocurrency. Like most of them, maybe some do, but most of them don't. So that's the struggle, I think, right now for an artist to be able to find a crowd that it's involved.
I think you have to create it, right? Because all this is about onboarding. So if you have people, you figure out how to get one NFT into their hands, right? Or, you know, if you have 10,000 people, how do you get an NFT into 1,000 people's hands? Do it cheap enough that they absolutely categorically must spend the time and attention to do it, right? And then, you know, create a sort of a as frictionless as possible an onboarding experience to get them on board, right? It's like going after, you know, people that are already in the space. I mean, do it for sure, right? Because I mean, obviously your guys' stuff is really, really interesting. There's already a market there. But yeah, the biggest thing on my mind is like going after the same people that all of us are going after for everything. You know, it's a tiny percentage of the population of the world, and all of them are going to be in NFTs in 10 years. Right.
Yeah,
So like
for sure.
there's 98% of human beings that are left. That's who I'm going to go talk to.
Yeah,
that we need to talk to them.
Yeah, the complex thing about it right now is that since there's so little people involved in NFTs, it actually requires a lot of time to create your community, right? So the reason why I was able to create Galeria NFT and sell my NFTs and sell my music as well is because of the pandemic, basically, because it got me fucked without any gigs, any I cannot promote events, so I have the time right now to do this stuff. Right. I get booked once every 2 months or 3 months, so I have spare time. Before I was playing every weekend, and during the week you're planning the next event and whatever. So if I was into that situation, maybe I wouldn't be able to create like a community.
Exactly the same thing happened to me. Musician was my day job before all this craziness, and the pandemic took all of my gigs to zero basically, and so I had nothing but time. So we just built a metaverse like you do. But yeah, and it was my experience. Ordonez was just the same thing, right? Like I did a music NFT drop and made a significant percentage of what I would make in a year playing music. And it was shocking. It was like, this is, everyone's going to need to figure this stuff out because it's just a whole brave new world.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's actually, that's maybe something we have to thank the COVID for.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for COVID, I would never be into NFTs, and I will never make money out of my music, just my gigs.
Yep.
And maybe in the future it gets better, because I'm hearing a lot of big brands working with Sandbox and other guys like to make concerts and make venues on the metaverse. So maybe in the future you will be able to also do the gigs, and maybe you'll get to make a worldwide tour without leaving your house.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, I think there's already some guys doing it, like Deadmau5, and some DJs are already playing on the metaverse on Minecraft. I heard he made a concert or something. But yeah, in the end, maybe some years from now, you will have opportunities for small artists as well.
Yeah, and again, right, like it's crazy because there's so much music and so much art that I've seen from overseas that like I would have never been introduced to if I wasn't in this space. Like meeting people like you, like, and I would have never listened to Italian rap before. I did a couple weeks ago, right? Like it was like just some really interesting like things that you can be introduced to, right, in this world. And like you said, I mean, fortunately, but unfortunately too, like not everyone is lucky enough to be wealthy, to live in a wealthy enough country that they can go to the bank and get out a loan for a McMansion that costs, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. The majority of people on this planet, they still live in places where owning property is almost impossible. And, a lot of them don't even have health insurance or, have trouble like with education and stuff like that. And like, where you're from, like in South America, certain parts of Asia, certain parts of Africa, the culture is really strong. And a big part of that culture is music. It is, getting together. It is art. And so when you, like you said, when you can get these people to put these things on the blockchain and actually keep that whole revenue for themselves, and put food on the table, right? Put healthcare towards their families and their kids. It's a really big deal. Like it changes lives. And we get people like complaining, in this space all the time. It's like, oh yeah, like this DeFi project sucks. I get like 0.1% return, or like token go down. Like I invested in this, and the price is like, and it's like 99% of the people I think that are creating things, that are doing things, especially people in the third world, like $1 a day is really freaking nice.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad, right?
Yeah, actually, there's like an estimate they made that poor people in Ecuador live with $2 a day, but $2 for the whole family. You know, it's not like for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the power of crypto. You know, when you understand, when you get into that, it's crazy. It can like change your life. Imagine like just a couple of dollars a day. It can make you. It's all you need when you're poor here in Ecuador. You know, not all you need, but it's enough to feed your family.
To start, yeah.
Yeah. So you have those $2 plus the $2 that you're able to make on your own, and that in the end it's twice as you were doing before. You know,
Even so, I've been thinking about this a lot, and sort of like just sort of the West or North America or Europe, whatever, right? Like the idea that the accredited investor thing up here basically suggests that, well, if you want to invest in businesses, or if you did want to invest in businesses in the traditional sense, buying shares or whatever, for the first initial rounds, right, you had to be an accredited investor, which means you needed like $250,000, sometimes $1 million liquid, just having $1 million laying around. And that means that you're a sophisticated investor, right? But what it means to everyone else is you're fucked, right? Like, good luck getting in first round of something like a Facebook or an Uber or whatever. You simply will never be allowed. And what crypto's done is, not only flattened that playing field for people in the States or Canada or Europe, but it's for the world, right? Like there's outfits now where people are buying $1 worth of Facebook shares as a token in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right. And the ability to start creating that kind of leverage, or even just like any kind of compound interest with $1 or with $2, just something that wasn't around 5 years ago, right? Like that wasn't even remotely possible. And I think that will probably have more of a profound effect on income inequality globally than anything else. And that's like, thanks Bitcoin, because without that crack in the dam, the people that have just been living off the legacy systems, like they don't care, right? Like it's not a huge priority for them to help other people make money. So it something like this had to happen. It's kind of magical that it did.
Yeah. And it's really great because there's like so many like smart people in the world that are like geniuses and stuff, but they cannot do something like bigger because they don't have the money. Sometimes it's about the money. It's about being like a kid from a rich parent or whatever, and you have the opportunities in your face. But when you don't have it, you need to work because you need to live, and there's
right.
a lot
You're working at a factory somewhere. Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent being wasted everywhere in the world because people the people wasn't born with a lot of millions and a lot of money, or on wealthy families, on well-contacted families. That's what you see in Ecuador all the time. Like you see the best student in class ends up being like a assistant for somebody, and the guy that had a lot of money because their parents had a lot of money, that's the CEO of the company, and the smart girl gets like nothing. That happens quite often here.
Yeah, I think that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Like that.
But here it's like everybody because the cities are small and stuff. So you see that happening because your friends that are like wealthy kids, they get like the job like this, like, okay, you're gonna be the CEO, and all the guys that know they're like geniuses, they don't get shit. They work for the other guy.
The
Right.
university that I work for is really funny because like those kids. I mean, they're pretty good kids, but like it's kind of known as like a rich boys and girls school. And the whole reason that a lot of the kind of semi-smart kids want to go there is because the social scene where they get to network with like CEO or company owners' kids, which will get them a job 5 years down the road. Like that's what they're basing their education on, is being able to network with these future CEOs. Like
it makes all the difference,
right? It does, right? But it's just really interesting, like that happens even in the first world, right? Like because I mean Japan's pretty well off country, so
the thing is contacts that are also a big part of it, of what you do and what you achieve, so like for instance with my music, it's crazy because most big labels don't accept demos for nobody artists, like if you're small, you don't get to send them demos. So you really need to have the contacts. Once you get the contacts, like I started like going to play in Amsterdam and Barcelona and Berlin and stuff, and I get to know these guys. And once that you get to know them, and then you can send us demos, we'll listen to your music, and then eventually you get to release with them. But when you're like in the lower I don't know strata, like I don't know how to say it, but when you don't have those contacts, you're basically fucked. It doesn't matter if you make the best tracks in the world. That the having the right contact is what gets you there. So yes, sometimes it can help, like what you say can help, and it can even get you like to a big place, knowing the right people.
It's true.
I think it's the same with art and NFTs too, because like you notice like there's a lot of really cool people who are supporting art projects, NFTs, doing collabs. Like you guys have done collabs with other people, like Ken Bozak's got collabs like crazy, Missing Crypto, like a lot of that, like I don't know. Wax is kind of maybe like a rich Ecuador in the crypto NFT space. Really, like it's a really small community. Everybody knows everybody. The majority of people do, and like the network effect of like like you said, you did a collab with Yoshi over on Yoshi Drops, and like a lot of other people have as well. So like I think this is it's going to be really interesting to see how just this Wax space, let alone the whole big picture, kind of explodes, because kind of a big believer in the fact that like Wax is a little bit underrated still to this day. Right?
Yep. Oh, it for sure is. It for sure is.
Yeah. When I've been like, I have some stuff from my artist that it's really like more like, I don't know how to say it, like real art, something like you will put on a frame and hang it on your wall. It's not like comic stuff. So I think that kind of stuff, it's not what the Wax community appreciates the most, So I've been trying to find the right spot for them on other blockchains. And when you start using them, you realize like how lucky and how good is Wax for our NFTs, because then you have to pay like a bunch of money on gas fees, and some places don't even have the ability to create the NFT right there, So like I was checking on Solana, there's only one of the biggest marketplaces that lets you mint in the site. The other ones you have to use another software or hire somebody that codes the thing for you. And that's something that Wax makes it super easy. Even when you transfer, when you want to cash out some Wax and you send it over to your Binance account or KuCoin or whatever, and it's free, Another, like if you make $100 and you want to send it on on Ethereum and it costs you $60 or $30 or
more,
$40, it's half of what you made. So it's insane. So once you think about, and it's not only Ethereum, it's only on the other blockchains as well. You pay percentages, and if your case is that you are not making big money, just making small amounts of money, it still hurts. Like you lose 10% of what you've done just to pay the transfer fee or whatever. It's kind of difficult. So that's something we have in Wax, and that's really great. It makes it super easy for people to get on board as well.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So this I guess this drop just went live on February the 1st, right? That you are doing now. So do you have anything in the works coming up next? Because I guess that's not
Yeah.
that long ago, but
Well, we have currently we're making the blends and everything for this collection, and then next I have I'm just finishing the next Crypto Raver release. I wanna make it like I'm thinking I'm gonna make a smaller drops, but more often. Like I want to make a Crypto Raver release each month, and then maybe not something that has like 100 different NFTs, but just like a few, like 20 or 30, and make it every week. So it's more like it's more frequent, so people won't forget about me, basically, because sometimes I'm working on a collection and it takes some months, and then suddenly you kind of disappear from the space for a couple of months when you're working on this, and by the time you get back, like people kind of forget about what you were doing. So I'm going to try to make smaller collections more often. And I have also do you remember the Ivan Casanova one?
Mm-hmm.
We're having the second one by him, and we're working on some stuff on other blockchains as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, please let us know. Please keep us informed. Like, let us know and come back and introduce your next collection to us as well.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, and definitely go check out the cool artwork over on the TEXWAX HODL EM. And the Crypto Ravers too. If you just scroll down, the links are all below for Galeria NFT and the TEXWAX HODL EM. Sorry. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Ordonez. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks guys for having me again and supporting the project. It's always like this is what we need, like exposure. It's as we discussed, is the main thing, like the most complicated thing here. It's to get people to know what you're doing and to see it and fall in love with it. So I'm really grateful for that. Thanks you guys for supporting and inviting me over.
For sure. Thanks for coming out, man. Yeah, we'll have you back too. Keep us posted on what you're doing. Oh, geez, here comes the chop. Do it up, Buttercup. Boom.